All right, welcome to lesson 1.4, and this lesson we're going to talk about the distributive property, and the distributive property basically is telling us to that you can break apart or break down a multiplication problem to make it a little bit easier. And in the example here, we see that there is 8 skateboards, and each skateboard has 8 wheels. So we can write this as 8 times 4, and we can count up all the wheels to get to the answer. But the distributive property tells us we can break this up into 8 times 2 plus 8 times 2, and we should get the same answer. So if we look at this, we know 8 times 4. We know from our math facts that 8 times 4 is 32. And if we look at the distributive property, we can see that we do the parentheses, and 8 times 2 is 16, plus 8 times 2 is 16. 16 plus 16 equals 32. So that's the distributive property, and it's basically taking a maybe this is a little bit of a simple example right here, but it's taking a math problem and breaking it apart into smaller pieces to make it easier to solve. All right, and so if we take a look at, let's get rid of some of this stuff. Right here. And if we take a look at this right here, 7 times 5, 7 times 5 right here, you can break apart the first factor or the second factor. So the first factor is 7, and the second factor is 5. So you can break these apart. You can break these down. If you want to break apart the second factor, it could be broken apart into 3 plus 2, or the second factor can be 5 plus 2. And what that means is we can take the mathematical equation 7 times 5, which is represented by these arrays down here. This array right here is 7 times 5. We can take it and break it down. If we wanted to break down the 7, we could do it this way right here, where we have the 5 and the 2. So we've broken it apart into, rather than one mathematical expression, we have 2 expressions, and we're simply going to add those together. So 5 times 5 is 25, plus 2 times 5, which is 10, equals 35. And we know from our math facts that in fact 7 times 5 does equal 35. So it's breaking apart either of the factors. You can do the first factor or the second factor to make it a more easy math problem to solve.